Chapter 16. What is hypnosis? Hypnosis is the name applied to a phenomena which demonstrates the power of mind over matter and the influence of one mind over another. The force of this power has always been a question for serious thought and a much speculation. The phenomena is both mysterious and uncanny, hence people fear it and yet desire to investigate it. The things that appear mysterious to us are those we do not understand, the cause of which we cannot comprehend. Had the law or cause of the phenomena been discovered, hypnosis would have been saved much censure, and instead would have gained the confidence and admiration of the public. At one time, many people supposed that the controlling power was emitted from the fingertips, and in order to produce a hypnotic effect, it was necessary to make passes over the body of the subject. Later, it was discovered that mechanical means would be employed to produce the desired effect when the passes had failed. This discovery destroyed the theory and belief that the power came from or through the fingertips. Still later, it was learned that the same or greater result could be obtained by simply giving the subject suggestions by word or action, the suggestion being but an expression of the thought in the mind of the operator. It is a fact that the power did not exist in any of the methods used, but existed in the thought force back of every action or suggestion. It is strange that the real cause of the phenomena was not discovered sooner. The fraternity labored under many delusions in regarding to the science they were trying to demonstrate. The phenomena was there to speak for itself, but the operators could give no positive proof of its cause, hence the mystery with which it has always been surrounded. When viewed from a logical standpoint, there is nothing mysterious about it. Hypnosis has simply demonstrated the power of mind over matter. This power which causes the physical and mental forces of the subject to act in response to the command of the operator in mentalism. Thought precedes all action. The thought given by the operator is conveyed to the brain of the subject where it assumes control, and his will for the time being is placed under subjection. The physical forces respond to the thought that is placed in the brain by the operator. The phenomena is produced and those who behold it are mystified. It is not necessary that the person be put to sleep in order to influence him to act or think as we desire. Hypnotism is but a crude means of accomplishing a result. The same effect can be produced by a more subtle method, and the person need not be made aware of the operator's desire. Mentalism is the law that governs the phenomena of hypnotism. Through it, one can produce the same results at a distance, and with just as much ease as they could produce through hypnotism when both parties are in the same room. The secret of the success obtained in either case lies in placing one's thoughts in the brain of the subject. Thus, hypnotism but uses mentalism to produce the phenomena. Hypnotism does not and could not exist independently of mentalism. By carefully following these directions, one can quickly and easily mentalize a person at any time he desires. It is best to first meet the person and, if possible, enter into conversation with him and in a general way touch upon the subject you have in mind, and at the same time use mentalism to give out the thoughts you wish him to absorb. This contact and conversation will tune your mental organization with his and give you the entry to his mind. After leaving his presence, keep in mind the thoughts you desire to impart to him. Send the thought that he will be possessed by an irresistible desire to do the practical thing you wish him to do. If he is one whom you have never mentalized before, it may be necessary for you to repeat the mental messages at several different times until they become implanted in his brain so strongly that he cannot resist doing as you bid him. After you have successfully mentalized him once, it would be much easier to do so next time. In fact, after a few successful attempts, you will meet with little or no resistance. The person mentalized will execute your desires, providing that they are not against his moral principles. In carrying out your dictates, He will not have the slightest suspicion that he is doing so through any other agency than his own wishes. I wish to state empathetically that no one can influence another to do evil unless the person's tendencies were previously evil or he possesses a very weak will. If the person's nature is pure, impure thoughts will be resented by him. And impure mentalism cannot be tuned in harmony with a pure mentalism. It would therefore be useless for anyone to attempt to influence an honest person to do a dishonest act, for such thoughts, when they reach the person, would act as a discord and automatically throw his mental organization out of tune with the one sending the message. The same results that would be gained from a conversation can also be obtained from a talk over the telephone or through a correspondence with the person. The act of writing a letter to another places one in a repetitive condition and helps to tune his mental organs in harmony with that of the person to whom he is writing. As soon as an answer to a letter is received, he may begin sending messages. Have you not often been thinking of a friend and in a day or so received a letter from him, and upon looking at the date, found that it was written on the day you were thinking of him? In such cases, the mental organs of both persons were in harmony, and the one received a mental message from the person who was writing the letter. If attention is given to these messages by the person who receives them, and the suggestions are acted upon, he is for the time mentalized by the other, and therefore not entirely responsible for his actions. When one feels an impulse or desire to do something out of the ordinary, he may be sure that he is being influenced by others through mentalism. If by carrying out these thoughts he would in any way harm others, he must set will against them and throw off the influence. It is not well to permit oneself to be mentalized discriminately, for every time one submits to it, his will is weakened, and if it were continued, he would eventually become a slave to others and be unable to use his own power to gain information from others. If he keeps his will strong, he need have no fear of being mentalized. All should bear in mind that the survival of the fittest is a law of the universe, and that the strong will always rule the weak, and that the good will survive when all that is evil has been destroyed. A man's power to rule is in proportion to the strength of his will. Each person should exercise and develop his will and use mentalism for the benefit and advancement of himself and others, and then he will become a master of men. The mood into which a friend can bring us is his dominion over us. To the thoughts of that state of mind, he has a right. All the secrets of that state of mind he can compel. Emerson.